In this movie, we'll take those artboards that you created in the previous movie and we'll turn it into the document that you see before you now. And the reason is, I think it's really important to have an early sense of accomplishment. And this is a pretty easy document to create, and you'll get a sense of just how amazing Illustrator really is. So if you're working inside this document, which I've called 8pagenewsletter.ai, then just go ahead and select everything across all the artboards, which you do by going up to the Select menu and choosing the All command. Or you can just press Control-A or Command-A on the Mac, and that goes ahead and selects all 8 of these massive numbers. Then press the backspace key on the PC or the delete key on the Mac to get rid of them, because we're going to create them from scratch. Now you want to switch to the Type tool, which incidentally for you will be located farther down the toolbox, because on your screen you're probably seeing the single column toolbox as you are now. But because my screen is so short, a couple of the tools and a few options get cut off down here at the bottom of the screen. And you can switch between the 1 and 2 column toolboxes by clicking on this little double arrow icon. Anyway, go ahead and click on the Type tool, which looks like a T, and click anywhere inside the first artboard. Just click like so, and then type the number 1. Now you're barely going to be able to see it from this vantage point, but that's okay. And then you want to press the Escape key in order to accept your change. So now you have an itty-bitty number 1 right there. We want to make it several times more massive, and you can do that by going up to the control panel. You should see Myriad Pro selected as your font by default, and it should be set to the regular style. We want this third option right there, which is the point size. By default, it's 12. We want it to be 608. So go ahead and enter 608 and then press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac to create this massive number 1 that is so tall we can't see all of it. I'll just go ahead and drag it down a little bit like so to make it a bit more visible. And then we want to change its color as well. And you do that by going up to the Window menu and choosing Color. And that'll bring up the Color panel over here on the right-hand side of the screen. We want to see more options, so click on this little item right there, which is the flyout menu icon, and choose Show Options. And that should display the CMYK values. If it doesn't, you can return to the flyout menu and choose CMYK. And now I want you to change the values as follows. We want to select the M value. So just go ahead and drag across it and change it to 20. And then press the Tab key to advance to the Y option, which is yellow, and change it to 100. And then press Tab to advance to the K value, which is black, and change it to 0. And you'll end up getting this bright yellow number like so. Then you want to go ahead and hide the color panel, and you do that by clicking on this little double arrow icon in the upper right corner of the panel. Now we want to center this guy on the artboard. And you can do that by clicking on the word Align in this horizontal control panel, by the way. That's what this thing under the menu bar is called. Go ahead and click on Align, and then drop down to Align To, click on its icon, and choose Align to Artboard, so that we're aligning to this active artboard right there, which is the first one, by the way. It's very important that we're aligning to that artboard, that you see a black outline around it. Then you want to click on Horizontal Align Center up here at the top, and then click on the 5th icon in Vertical Align Center. Now that still looks a little high for me. I'm going to press the Enter key or the Return key on the Mac to hide that panel. And so I'm going to press Shift down arrow twice in a row. So 1, 2, that Shift and down arrow together, and we'll end up with this effect here, which looks pretty darn good. Looks like we have some real vertical centering going on. Then go up to the Edit menu and choose the Cut command, or you can press its universal keyboard shortcut, Control-X here on the PC, or Command-X on the Mac. Now that may seem like a really strange thing to do, to create a thing and then essentially get rid of it. But what I've done is I've taken the one and I've sent it to this thing called the clipboard, which effectively means it's gone to your computer's memory. Now we want to take that one and paste it onto all of the artboards inside of this document. And you do that by going back to the Edit menu and choosing Paste on All Artboards. And you'll end up getting this effect here, which is absolutely amazing. And notice that it's matching the placement and everything. Now it's just a matter of changing the numbers And we'll do that once again using the Type tool. So go ahead and click on it to select it. Then drag across the second one, change it to a 2. Drag across the third one, change it to a 3. I bet you're beginning to get the idea here. And I'll just drag across these last guys, finally changing the very last number to an 8. And then to accept my changes, I'll press the Escape key. And notice that not only takes me out of the text entry mode, but it also returns me to the black arrow tool, which Illustrator calls the selection tool. I just call it the black arrow because, after all, that's what it is. And that, in a nutshell, is it. If you want to deselect your text, by the way, just click off of it someplace in the pasteboard. And that is how you create a quick and dirty document here inside Illustrator. In the next movie, I'll show you how to save your changes.